fucking shit. How much is that head, just in case, Stefan?
Way more than the drum.
Just a little bit more than the drum. Whoa. So we got the mood lighting, of course, number one, first and foremost. The most important thing out of any recording session is the lighting. So we have these knee-high room mics, which are Cascade Fatheads, bi-directional, really cool, dark tonality. Can't remember what preamp we're running them through, whether it's API or Neve, but something. I think we ran them through the APIs, but anyway, yeah. 2 stereo pair, measured out, phase is everything. Sounds pretty good for the garage dimensions. Everything's set up kind of offset to try to help the room not get any standing waves and not have any phase problems on reflections like that. Mics. AKG 414, classic pencil condenser. We have a pair of those. We have a pair of both of these, actually. The legendary SM57 here. Can never, ever go without one, whether you love them or hate them. They're around. Then, might as well go with the weird one. We have an Aston Spirit, which is an omnidirectional. We have it set to omni, but it's 3 different directions, 3 polar patterns. And we're miking the room on Omni and getting a little bit of the garage door resonance, which is kind of a weird. Yeah, me and Steven played all the garage door panels to find the one that sounded exactly in resonance with the drums we were playing, which is probably overkill, but it's cool. Another 414. Then this is the Stefan Rundstrom classic right here. One of the many SM7B Stefan Rundstrom classics. The mono overhead directly over the source. Sounds great. Sounds too good. Suspiciously good. Another classic, we have the Coles 4038s that we've used on the overheads for all of the direct drum samples. The kicks, snares, and crashes. Everything phase measured to every source. Don't ever want to have any of those problems. Down here we have one of my personal favorite mics, which is the Sennheiser MD441. It's a super cardioid dynamic. It's a great snare mic, vocal mic, anything where you need a closer pickup pattern, but that nice dynamic high SPL, but a little bit of crispiness. And this particular one I bought from a studio in Hollywood that's now closed called Grandmasters. And the owner guy told me that that was on a Queens of the Stone Age record, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and some Stevie Wonder stuff. So a little juju in that guy. And then we have our buddy, who we haven't named just yet, but this is the most highly paid member at the moment of the Circles team. We need to give him a name, but this is the Neumann KU100 binaural microphone system. It's very close to human hearing. We're finding lots of cool stuff with it. We're waiting for the aha moment where we understand why it is what it is and what it costs. But for now, it's really, really awesome. And then, yeah, the garage. Threw up a couple blankets, threw up a couple, garage-type acoustic treatments to keep it real. Left a lawnmower for audio quality, of course. A little gasoline close to the heating sources just in case we need to get warm real quickly.
Well, we're here in the garage once again. We haven't left. It's getting a little cold in here. We got space heaters kicked on. We just finished all the bare essentials. The kicks, the snares, the cymbals, which take forever to do. Mostly because you're sitting here going Wait. Shh. Yeah, we finally finished those. They sounded great. We wanted to get the main stuff out of the way first, and then now we're gonna move to the more sort of interesting one-shot type stuff. So maybe drums and other weird shit, and just, I don't know, see what happens.
Got 3 days of
3 days of weird.
fuck all.
Baby blue dustpan. Plastic. We're gonna call it
Spiky torture device. This was my dad's Premier kit from the 70s. So English made kit, really thin shells. I actually spray painted this gray. I took off all the hardware, shined it up, spray painted it gray, probably when I was 13 or 14 years old. And it, on paper, should sound like absolute dog shit, but for some reason in the garage it just sounds perfect. We got the Glyn John set up with the 57s going on right now with a kick and snare 57 as well, all feeding into the little Shure shit box. Old school John Bonham squeaker. Pretty fucking stoked so far.